everybody, it's me Samantha here today. I am getting ready to go to the grocery store and run a few errands, and I'm going to put some makeup on. I decided that I'm going to use only drugstore products and kind of show you guys how I do my makeup if I was only using drugstore products. I know that a lot of times we are tempted to spend a lot of money on high-end and luxury products. I do it feed into that temptation all the time, and you don't really need all of the high-end stuff or the luxury makeup to get a really nice look. You can purchase really great makeup in the drugstore at Target, Walmart, in Ulta at an affordable price and get a really nice look. So that is what I'm going to do today, and we're going to get started. So of course we're going to start with our base, and to start off I'm going to use the Milani Master Prime, and this is a hydrating and smooth primer. The packaging kind of reminds me of the Smashbox Photo Focus type primers that they have, and I really like this formula. It has a really nice creaminess to it, and it does do exactly what it says. It hydrates and it does smooth. It has a smoothing texture that doesn't feel like you're putting a ton of silicone on your face. I'm sure the products have some kind of dimethicone in here. Yep, it does. But it's kind of low on the list, so it doesn't feel like you're putting straight silicone on your face if you don't like that. And there we go. I'm going to go in with a tried and true favorite formula of foundation of mine, and that is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion in the shade Sable. This is what I'm wearing right now, and I'm going to use my Sonia Kashuk brush. You can get this for, I believe, $10 at Target. It's a really great brush, and mine is a little disgusting and gross right now, but I highly recommend if you are looking for a good foundation brush. If you are not a fan of a sponge or not comfortable with a sponge, I recommend this. So I'm going to pump on the back of my hand and then take with my finger and dab it. I always start with the center of my face and use sparingly amounts on the forehead, because as you can tell, my face has a lot of different colors on it and my forehead is the darkest, so I feel like there's less covering up to do with the forehead. And that was one full pump. I'm about to put another half pump on my face. And that's pretty much all I'm going to use for that. I find that this foundation is really high, full coverage, but has a really gorgeous natural finish to it. You won't look cakey or too done up with this foundation. It's easy to even do kind of like a no makeup kind of look with this foundation, as it does look so natural on the skin. And that is it. We're going to put on some concealer. I'm going to use the Flower Beauty Light Illusion concealer. I believe this is in, it's medium deep, so it goes from M5 to D1. And I don't do a lot of highlighting all the time, so this I think is a perfect concealer for me. It's not too brightening, so if you're wearing everyday makeup, My kids are fighting once again. Never ends. Over the TV, of course. I don't understand that. Do your kids fight over the TV nonstop? Because, like, literally they have televisions in their room. They have tablets with Netflix in their little profiles. Yet they all want to watch the same thing on the same device every time and, like, argue or not share the screen with each other. And it's always a fight. Always a fight. And this is just the e.l.f. concealer brush. I believe I picked this up at Walmart. And I'm just going in with the foundation brush to kind of blend that a little more. And then just to finish it off, we're going to use the Flower Beauty Light Illusion in the shade Tawny. And I'm just going to use that same brush I put the concealer with to set my under eyes. And that kind of tones down some of the brightening that we did. And I have plenty of brushes. I can use a different brush for this step, but I mean, there's no need to have 15 different brushes, really. And I highly recommend, if you're looking for brushes, to buy brushes individually. It's nice sometimes to get a set, but I feel like you never get a set that really 100% works for your face. And so then you're constantly buying sets, trying to find the perfect brushes. And you end up with a buttload of brushes and only half of them really work for you. So I highly recommend just buying individual brushes that you know will work with the size of your face, the size of your eye, you know, the space in between here if you're bronzing or whatnot. Because you're going to get more use out of them if they're more fitted for you and you're not wasting all your money. And you can buy a ton of cheap brushes and then end up not really enjoying them. So for that reason, I definitely recommend picking up individual brushes. And Target has the Sonia Kashuk line. You can buy individual brushes. e.l.f. is also at Target. I'm sure Walmart has e.l.f. brushes there, and probably Wet n Wild. There's a lot of drugstore brushes out there. I think Walmart has Equate brushes that I've heard people rave about. So I definitely recommend picking up brushes kind of individual. I think you might pay a little more per brush, but you're gonna get exactly what you need, exactly what you want. Yeah, so that's my little spiel on that. I forgot to grab a bronzer. We're gonna go in with the City Bronzer from Maybelline, and this is the shade 300 Deep. I really enjoy this bronzer. It has a really nice warmth to it. And what's frustrating is not necessarily something personal to me, but I just think it's kind of messed up that this is the deep bronzer and I can use this, and I'm more tan deep in the summer and really more of a medium tan in general. And there's people a lot darker than me, and I don't know that this would work for them. And I find that medium bronzers tend to be geared towards the light medium skin tone, so I can't always get away with that, where I try them but they just barely show up. Okay, so that's the base, and I think this looks beautiful. It's drugstore, and this is how nice it looks. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need to buy the Fenty or the Huda or the Gucci or whatever. You can get a really gorgeous drugstore look. So some of my favorite foundations are drugstore ones, because I find that the tones of the colors just match my skin, the shades, better than some high-end ones. It's harder to find my match. So this is what it looks like. We're going to add some blush. I picked out 2 blushes today, and I'm looking at this. I'm going to use the Avocado Palette from BH Cosmetics, and I'm looking at the blushes. Oh wait, no, we're going to use this. We're going to use the Flower Beauty. It's a Flower Beauty day, I guess. We're going to use the Flower Beauty from Blush Balm in the shade Cinnamon. That's what we're going to use. I really like this one. So I'm just going to put a little tiny speck on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to go in with this Fenty face brush. But I have plenty of brushes like this. I have BH Cosmetics, all those. So I'm just going to pat it out and go in. I love this shade blush. I feel like it's really natural in the skin, and it gives a nice glowy look. I know I'm going to be in a mask at the grocery store, but I'm going to wear this all day. So in my house, you know, whatever. And I want to feel nice. There's that, and I think that looks really pretty and glowy. I don't even need a highlight for this look. I'm gonna just take a sip of my seltzer. This is the Polar Seltzer in Kiwi Pink Grapefruit. It's really, really good, and I like the tall bottles on those. Alright, so we're going into the BH Cosmetic Avocado Palette. This is a recent purchase of mine. I don't know if you've already seen my June or July purchase video, but I did mention that I picked this up in the Trendy in Tokyo one as well because it reminded me of the Glam Like Cake palette. And I will tell you, they're totally different formulas. I wasn't a huge fan of the Tokyo one. I'm going to play with it a little bit more, but I felt like the shimmers were really hard pressed into the pans. And so it didn't have that creamy softness that this palette and also the Summer and St. Topaz has. The formulas are definitely different, and these ones are way better than the Trendy in Tokyo. So I'm going to go in first with the shade Paprika, and I'm holding it upside down. It's this one right here. Sorry, I'm going to prime my eyes first with the Milani eyeshadow primer. This is pretty much a staple. Been using this for a while now. And it's just a really good eyeshadow base. Affordable, and it lasts forever. And now I'm going to go into Paprika. And I'm kind of going more above the crease because I have very hooded eyes, and when I go into the crease, you won't even really see this. There we go. I always tell myself I'm gonna make a low-key, like, just casual look, and then I end up like this. I don't know. I always just build everything up and build it up and build it up, and then I have some dramatic kind of look. Because I feel like it doesn't show up. I'm like, is it showing up? It's barely showing up. It's barely showing up. And I like BH Cosmetic formula. I mean, this one specifically, like I said, the Trendy in Tokyo one was not really great. But I don't feel like that's the norm with them. I tend to really like their formula for affordable brands. And they tend to be more creative than the traditional drugstore like Milani. I mean, they have nice palettes too if you like something very subtle, but if you want something with a little bit more of a punch, Beach Cosmetics tends to have a little bit more of that. And I'm using their brushes as well. This is the V5 Vegan, and this is the 17 Studio Pro. I'm going to go in with the shade Pit, which is a brown chocolate color, just in the outer lid. Okay, I'm going to go into Haas with my finger, and it's this really beautiful olivey green. And I'm going to go all over my lid and just pat that in with my finger, blend it in. Lastly, take this Sonia Kashuk brush and go into, so this was Husk here, this is Pit, Paprika, and we're going to go into Ripe. And I'm going to go in the under lash line. And that was more intense than I anticipated, but that seems to be the theme today. You could leave the look alone with just the top, but I felt like adding that extra color in there just was a little more fun. Moved a round brush, and I'm going into Lemon Pepper in my inner corner. We're going to do my brows. I'm going to be super quick. I'm going to use my NYX Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. So much for precision. I really enjoy this pencil. I know that everybody's really into the really thin ones because you can get really hair-like strokes, but let's be honest, there's nothing hair-like about filling in your brows. You just want them to be visible. Brush that out so it doesn't look so intense. And then I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. This was like my favorite for a really, really long time. And so I have this one, and I think I have 2 backups, even though I haven't been using it at all lately because I've been really into the fiber crayon and also like my Patrick Ta brow sculpting. But this is a really good product. It really holds the brows in place all day, adds a little bit of pigment and those fibers if you have some holes and gaps in your brows that you need to get filled in. So that's my brows. I'm going to add some mascara. We're going to go in with Essence. This is the Get Big Lashes Triple Black Mascara. I usually get the waterproof one in the blue container. For drugstore mascara, I feel like Essence has the best ones. Everybody recommends the Last Princess ones, but I actually really like these ones, the big fluffy bristles on them. They give a really nice dramatic look. And I don't have much lashes, so I need all the drama that I can possibly get. So this is the look. Because I'm going to the grocery store and I'm going to be wearing a mask, I typically would not put anything on my lips besides like a lip balm, because I do actually kind of like my natural lip color. But for the sake of the video, we're going to put on the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Topaz, because this stuff is like unbelievable. I would purchase this over the Fenty ones over and over again, because if you go through gloss all the time, I don't think it's necessary to spend $19–20 on a lip gloss when you can get this for like $10 or less, depending if it's Target or Walmart or Ulta or wherever you go. It's beautiful, it's comfortable, it gives you that glass shine with beautiful slip, no stickiness, and it's very hydrating and comfortable. It has hyaluronic acid in there, so that's a big buzzword in beauty. And this is my drugstore look. You can get a really gorgeous look at the drugstore. You don't need to spend a lot of money. These are all products that I know and love, and that I've been using for a really long time, and I highly recommend all of them. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, it will really help me out. And till next time, love you guys. Bye.